Hello and welcome to Amy Hart's Mums Club. In this podcast, I'll be sharing the highs and lows of parenting, plus I'll be joined by a gaggle of fabulous guests to delve into their parenting journeys too. And that's not all. This podcast is for you. Each week, we'll be answering your questions and me and my fabulous guests will give you all the help we can. So if you have any questions, please email them to amyhartsmumsclub@news.co.uk. My guest today is a West End leading lady, having had roles in Cats, Les Mis, We Will Rock You and Wicked, to name a few. And on Monday the 21st of April, Easter Monday, you can see her as part of the Westway sessions at the Vaudeville Theatre before she heads around the UK on her Queen of the West End tour this year. Plus, she's the author of her own memoir, Bumpkin to Broadway. So please welcome to Amy Hart's Mums Club, Kerry Ellis.
Yay, thank you.
Oh my God, I can't believe you're here. I mean, most people listening will know I am like a musical theatre uber fan. But obviously, your musical theatre career, we'll get into you being a mum later. But first of all, I'm using my powers for evil and I'm going to talk about musicals. Your career has been amazing. You played so many amazing roles. I feel like everyone knows you for Wicked, but I know that Nancy is a role that everyone says that you like excelled in. What's been your favourite?
Oh, I don't know. You know, it's been quite a long time. I've been doing this for like 25 years now and done so many shows and, you know, played so many amazing roles and done so many different things, which I think is what's so lovely about our industry. And to play all those different kind of characters it's like going and just having fun most nights. But I think probably, which we were talking about earlier, one of the most fun characters to play was Reno Sweeney in Anything Goes. We said, you know, you saw me at the
Olivier's, darling.
And funny story about that.
Closing Act 1.
Oh my goodness. So I'd not tapped for 25 years, or not, well, it's a bit less at the time, but since I'd been at college. And I remember getting the role of Reno Sweeney and thinking, yeah, no problem. Lovely Cole Porter songs, gorgeous. I love singing those. But there's a 9-minute tap number. And I thought, I'd not tapped for over 20 years. So this could be interesting. Anyway, we got into the show and started rehearsing. And then the Oliviers came up because there was a few nominations. Lovely Kathleen Marshall and Sutton Foster. So we went to perform at the Oliviers. So that was the first time I'd ever tapped live in front of anybody, because we hadn't opened the show yet, was live on the Oliviers for like the nation and my friends and my peers. So I was super nervous, but it was probably one of the most electric, you know, performances that I'd done, I think, ever. I loved it. I loved being part of that company. I loved doing something for the first time. And it was just such a beautiful show. So probably Reno Sweeney, I think.
Now, you obviously played Meat in We Will Rock You, and that's like something that you're really, really known for. You had 7 auditions.
I did have 7 auditions, I know. Yes, I mean, that's quite normal to have quite a few auditions. And it was a brand new show. I'd done My Fair Lady at the National and at Drury Lane. And
yes, because you always pop up in those tweets where it's like, never say anything about seeing an understudy, because if you saw Martine McCutcheon's understudy, you saw Kerry Ellis.
Yeah. I was like early days, you know, one of those kind of stories very early on. So We Will Rock You was very shortly after that. And I always say I was young enough to wear hot pants. So it was, but it was such a brilliant experience. We hung out with rock stars, you know, we hung out with Queen and Ben Elton and Arlene Phillips, and we were playing to packed out houses at the Dominion Theatre, everyone kind of screaming Queen songs back at us. I mean, it was, for a 20-year-old, it was just like the time of my life. I loved it.
That was either the first or the second show I saw in London, because not even my mum and dad can remember. We saw Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and We Will Rock You, but I can't remember which order they were in.
The first.
And I was literally obsessed. So it would have been the Palladium for Chitty and the Dominion for you guys. I remember I had my...
So when Michael Ball did it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it must have been us first, I reckon. Yeah. I think he did it afterwards.
And we had our, like, the We Will Rock You glow sticks that you used to get for the end. And I had that, like, in my bedroom, obviously not glowing, for a really long time afterwards, and was literally obsessed with Queen music. Obviously, you're on the soundtrack, so we've all listened to you many,
and it brought Queen, you know, I think the brilliant thing about Queen is they keep kind of having these like mega moments that bring them to a new generation, and the musical certainly did that for lots of musical lovers and like a young generation of new kind of musical lovers.
Yeah, and it just keeps coming back, and like you said, they have their resurgence. So I wonder if there's any artist now that in, you know, that many years, if they'll still be able to have these resurgences and their music just still be so, like, you know, at the end of every party, we are the champions.
It's massive.
Like,
I mean, we did have the best time. We met so many cool people because the show was like really exciting at the time. There's always like a musical that's everyone's excited about, and it comes to London and everyone goes and sees it. And we had a big kind of crazy opening night, and there was just so many people there. And throughout our run, we had people like Beyonce and Pink and Britney Spears came, Tina Turner came. I just met so many like legendary people. It was so cool. I met Liza Minnelli, my hero. It was an amazing show.
So was that the start of your sort of working relationship with Brian May?
Yeah, kind of. I met him, or we worked together through We Will Rock You. He actually came to see My Fair Lady, and that's where he got introduced to me. I didn't know that he was in watching, but I was on for Eliza, and he said, well, you have to come and audition for We Will Rock You. So I did. And then we didn't start working in the studio until after the show had finished, really. But obviously I was in the show for 2 years, so I got to know him and Roger and quite well. And it was after that he kind of helped me produce my first album.
That's amazing, because you also were in a band, which I think did he help set up Woman with you, Maz, Gina and Anna Jane Casey?
Yeah. Well, it was kind of...
Well, he played the guitar in the song, didn't he?
Yeah. It was Maz's, Maz and Gina's kind of baby, if you like. And basically we just came together as 4 friends, really, to sing some great rock songs, and that was it. And obviously we all knew Brian very well, so Brian played. And the first song that we did release, I mean, we only released one song, which was Woman, and it was for charity.
Love that.
Because Maz is quite involved in
Target
ovarian cancer, a charity, because she lost one of her dear friends lots of years ago. And we did the song for that, and it was just a nice moment for musical people to come together, do a great song, do a great version, do a great video, and make some money.
Yeah, and he seems like such a loyal person. Like, I feel like he's friends with people still that he's worked with for years, and like, you know, you guys are like, oh, we're doing this single, will you come and play on it?
Yeah.
So it just seems like I mean, I loved meeting him and Anita. I'm obsessed with them both.
They're both gorgeous.
Yeah,
they're both gorgeous.
So obviously all 4 of you and Woman were all mums in the industry.
Yes.
What is it like being a mum in the industry?
Oh my God, how long you got? I mean, I think it's changing. I think it has its challenges, but I think every working mum does. I think to balance, I don't think I really understood the work-life balance thing until having children, because you really just want to be in 2 places at the same time, and you constantly trying to do everything, and it's really difficult. There's just not enough hours in the day. And I think, you know, you especially when you do something that you love doing, having a profession and a career that you just are so, you know, it's your life, then to suddenly have, you know, these small people that you want to also spend your whole life with, it's really difficult. But for me, I mean, I'm constantly juggling. I'm constantly trying to do the right thing, be at all the school events, and make sure that my kids have everything, you know, take them to all the clubs, but also still carve out a career for myself.
I saw a girl that I follow on Instagram called Lauren Varnum, who's been in like, lots of musicals, and she was saying the other day she was going to auditions, and they called her back the next day, and she's like, okay, I need to get childcare. And she was saying that, like, to all mums in the theatre industry, she said, it's the auditioning that's hard, when it's trying to juggle childcare and learn your lines and learn the sides, and then they call you back the next day, and they call you back the next day. So but once you've got that job, that's when it all goes into routine, and then you're fine for a year, and you can work your life around it for a year.
Yeah, I mean, the juggling of everything is the hardest bit, and childcare I think is the bane of everybody's life, because it's difficult, and also things change. You know, constantly you'll get called up exactly to do a last minute thing, and it's just not a straightforward, oh, I'm going to be 9 to 5, so I'm going to need childcare. It's just not straightforward. So asking people to help you is tricky. It's really hard.
The industry's doing a lot of job shares now. I saw one the other day on like Les Mis and stuff, and I know other people have done it. Do you think that's like a good move forward?
I think it's coming gradually. I mean, it would be really helpful, obviously. I think not having to be in a show 8 times a week, I think would be massively helpful. And I think so many more people would stay in the industry if they could do that. And I think a lot of parents, leave for a little while while their kids are small, and then obviously try and come back in. But then that's really difficult if you've not done a show for a long, long time. But yeah, to be able to kind of share the hours, I think would be helpful. I think it's difficult because you've got to have double cast of everything, and that's not easy
And also
for producers.
I suppose it has to be 2 people that need the job share, that do the job share, because it's not fair to someone who doesn't need the job share to be like, sorry, you're only going to, here's half a contract.
It's difficult. And I wouldn't want to be on the other side and be a producer trying to accommodate that either. I think it's not straightforward. But I think we could be a bit more supportive of parents. So, for instance, if you're in a show and last minute rehearsals are no help for anybody because you've got to sort out childcare. So just being a little bit considerate, I think, would be helpful.
Yeah. Someone messaged me saying that they've tried for years to start a crèche that basically opens at midday and closes at 11 p.m.
And everybody basically have my children.
Like, well, they do the West End Tales, the doggy daycare now, don't they? Yeah. And you can do stage door drop off and pick up. That'd be brilliant. Kids.
I mean, they'd make a fortune.
Around with like a triple buggy and like 2 baby carriers dropping off at different stage doors.
It's hard, isn't it? It's so difficult. But I think if there's a will, there's a way. I think, and there's more working parents now. There's more working theatre people with kids, I think, or that we know about.
Was like, do you know Steph Parry?
I do, yeah.
I mean, I'm very jealous of Marlo's first year in the world. I mean, I am going to have her on the podcast. It's a little sneak peek. But so this lady that you both know, she is Donna on the international tour of Mamma Mia, and she went into rehearsals 3 weeks after she had her little boy, and then when he was like 3 months old, they started traveling the world, and he's done like over 20 flights now. He's 14 months, I think. He's done over 20 flights. He's basically lived in hotel rooms. I mean, iconic, the dream.
Yeah.
Like the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody for his whole life.
So weirdly, me and Steph were on a plane. I was doing some gigs out in Sweden, and I couldn't do the whole run. And Steph we were on the same plane going out because she was going to do the dates that I couldn't do. And it was the first time I'd met her. And we were chatting on the plane, and we were talking about being parents and and how that works logistically. And I was going, well, it's difficult. Blah, blah, blah. She obviously wasn't pregnant then. And then literally after that job, maybe a couple of months later, she was like, I'm pregnant. I was like, oh my God, you're doing it. This is amazing. Welcome to the madness. But she's great. I mean, it's not a easy thing to have your kids on tour with you, but it's nice though to be able to do that and to take them, and I think it's really good for the kids too. I took my kids everywhere before they went to school. In fact, I toured with Brian with both of them when they were babies, and we went around Europe and Eastern Europe and all over. We did the Italian tour, and I took them. They were both in like car seats, and we just took them everywhere on tour buses. And
amazing.
It was amazing. And now they're so resilient to travel and to go in places and to meeting people. I think it's been really good for them, just as humans, and as their development, I think has been really good.
Is your husband in the industry?
No, he's he works in football, so he coaches and manages at the moment AFC Dunstable, and it was equally rubbish hours of being a parent.
Does that balance?
No, it's awful. It's horrendous. Our lives are just, one big calendar. Well, where are you then? Can you do this? And it's just, and as they get older, the logistics become more because they have their own social calendar. They have clubs and parties and, places they've got to be. So you just become a taxi service and a facilitator.
Sam always says about us, like if we had 3 children, he's like, but what happens if they've all got something at the same time?
Yeah,
we can't be in 3 places.
Yeah.
And I was on the train the other day, coming back from here actually, and there was a lady and she had her 3 kids with her, and she was phoning and she said, right, okay, so here's the plan. I'm going to drop you at your netball, but you're going to have to go 20 minutes early because then I'm going to drop you 2. And then once you've got to watch her, and then when you're finished, you're going to have to sit there for 20 minutes before someone else can come pick you up.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. You eat 3, you're not even at 2 yet. You go for 2 first. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
I'm a planner.
We get annoyed at the school because the school will sometimes go, like my eldest will have a game at another school, and you've got to go and take him there, and then you've got to pick the other one up at school at 3:15. And you're like, hang on a minute, the school
We've
has
not got a minibus.
arranged this, so we need to, this is crazy. But yeah, I mean, but we do it. You do it.
Are the boys leaning more towards theatre or football?
One of each.
One of each.
So my eldest is all sport. He's like any sport he can get his hands on, he's all in. And my youngest, I think, is a little bit more creative. I think he could be good on screen. I think he's good. He's got a flair for. He's definitely got charisma and something about him. And yeah, I could see him on the screen, I think.
Now, you have 2 boys. I have 1 boy, with hopefully adding some more to the family soon. What advice do you have for me as a boy mum?
Oh my God.
Apart from improve my fitness.
Brace yourself. No, I mean, it's chaos. But it's brilliant chaos. It's time consuming. It's exhausting. But I wouldn't have it any other way. When you see those Instagram videos pop up of parents, mums of boys, that it's just so chaotic, but enjoy the chaos because it goes so quickly. And I'll be sobbing watching these videos going, I need to just go and listen to them, moan at me or shout at me or go, come on, play this, play that. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, but it's bonkers.
Stanley's just got to the point now. Everyone said to me when I had a little boy, like, "Oh, boys are really loving," and I was like, "Okay, cool, yeah." And now he'll just randomly give me hugs. And yesterday I went, "Oh, I love you, Stanley," and he's like, "I love you, mummy."
Yeah, it is. They're affectionate and gorgeous, and I love that they're just so honest and in the moment. I say honest. If I say, "Where's your PlayStation?" or "Where's your Switch?" they'll go, "I haven't got it," and they have. But they're just I like that kids are so present. They're very in the moment. And I think as parents, we're always so 10 steps ahead. We're trying to plan and we're trying to, do everything so that we can accommodate everything. But sometimes the beauty is just in the moment and sitting and listening to their stories or what they've done or what they're thinking about. And I think trying to take in those moments is really important.
Yeah, I get panicky because I'm like, oh, what? Do I remember stuff from when he was a baby, or is it just because I've got photos and and I'm like, actually, do you know what? Just enjoy
it.
Just enjoy the now.
Enjoy it, yeah, because it goes so quick. I mean, I look at pictures of mine when they were your Stanley's age, and it just it seems like yesterday that they were doing those kind of things, and it does go quick.
What have been some of your best moments as a mum?
Oh my God. I think the simplicity times of when we're just together as a family, and we're doing simple things like walking the dogs or swimming. We love swimming together. Like if we're on holiday, we're always in the water. But simple, even just having meals together when everybody's again, there's no phones, there's no screens, there's no distractions. You're just there together as a family. They're kind of my favourite moments for us. We've done amazing cool things where we've been on holiday, and like I say, they've toured around the world and they've been on more flights in their kind of 9 years than I have in my entire life. But they're just being with them. I think just being present, being with them. Yeah.
So are the boys coming on tour with you now?
No. Well, no, because it becomes difficult when they go to school. I take them as much as I can. Like when I did Anything Goes, and we did a couple of weeks in Bristol before we went into the Barbican, and they did come in their holidays, and I get a little apartment so that they can come and hang out, and that's always nice. And when I'm touring at the end of the year, I just try and get home as much as I can, or they'll come to me as much as we can. But it's difficult when they're, Monday to Friday in school.
What kind of person are you when you're on tour? Do you like to get out and see things, or are you I'm going to use this time to sleep and just prepare and save my voice?
I think now is very different. When I was younger, I don't think I embraced it as much as I could have done. I did exactly that. I kind of was quite social, and I would sleep and I would just do the show. Whereas now I try and use it as a bit of me time and, rest or go to the gym or eat well. And I do try and get out and walk and see something as well. And take advantage of the time that I've got.
Because have you seen the Celine Dion documentary?
I have.
Where she says, I travelled the world, but I haven't seen anywhere.
I have. And it resonated a lot with me, that did, because I can totally relate to that. Especially when we were touring early days, and you're literally traveling so much. So you literally see a hotel room, the venue, and a plane or a bus or a coach or whatever it is you're on, and you don't see the city. But in fact, when I toured with Brian, we made a point of going to see the tallest tower or the highest point of wherever we were touring.
Amazing.
And I'm so glad that we did that, because it's exactly like Celine said, you can literally be anywhere in the world and you don't know.
This is like a really superficial, shallow question, but I have to ask.
When
you toured with Brian, did you get to go on a private jet all the time?
Because I saw
he buys the carbon footprint offset token things you can do. But because when they toured last year, he put up a thing of him in a private jet, and he's like, I know, I'm an eco warrior, but we buy the tokens, and I think I've been working long enough.
Okay, so I did, but not all the time. I did it twice or maybe 3 times. And what I love about it is that, like, both times I took each child on them. So they have no idea, but I say to them, you guys were on a private jet before you were even 2, both of them. Which is and with a rock star, with Brian. So that's very cool. But yeah, I did it a couple of times, but we didn't do it all the time. We were on a tour bus a lot of the time, which was cool. Because, I mean, the first tour we did, we had a band. So there's more of us, and we were on a tour bus. And then the second one that we did that was acoustic, and just acoustic by candlelight, which was just the 2 of us. We obviously didn't need the space. So we were kind of in big cars and kind of, hotels, that kind of way. But yeah, not always private jet.
Are your kids quite desensitised because Brian May, one of the biggest rock stars in the world, is just their mum's mate? Uncle Brian,
Uncle Brian, yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of starting to resonate to them now as they get older. Before, they didn't have a clue about, and rightly so. It was just in their world. They would turn up at big theatres and they'd sit on the stage in sound checks. And I've got little videos of them with Brian sat there with his guitar and Freddie and Alfie just shouting into the microphones, hello, and it echoing all around. So they were quite oblivious a little bit to start with, but now it's that they're getting a bit older, and things like the Wicked movies coming on, so they're kind of starting to put things together that, oh, hang on a minute, you were green for a little while, and with like the Queen music everywhere, and it starts to resonate with them. They go, oh, and it's when their friends start to react and go, he's like, well, don't you know, Brian? It's like, no.
How was it when the Wicked movie came out? Because obviously there's so much like hype around it. I met some people on the train today that were going up to see Wicked because they'd seen the movie, and they're like, we've now got to see the show.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, Wicked has been the gift that keeps giving. I mean, I've been part of that phenomenon for so many years. I joined the show in 2007. I did it in London for a little while, then went to Broadway, which was a dream for me. I went back into it in 2014. I've sung the songs, I've released the songs, I've travelled the world singing those songs.
I love your disco version of Defying Gravity.
It's great. Club version,
yeah. I call it a disco. My favourite one of yours, I love it when you call randomly.
Thanks.
I love that in the gym. It's great to run to.
I love that you
It's on my Stagey Gym playlist.
Oh my God, I love the Stagey Gym playlist. I need that. That's brilliant. I love that so much. Yeah. I mean, Wicked's great. And so then for the movie to kind of come full circle and to be part of that crazy time and what's nice with the movie is that, one, it keeps it relevant and has brought it to a whole new generation. Suddenly my kids are interested in it. It just keeps going, which I think is brilliant. And for me, people go, oh yeah, it resonates for them.
Are you in part 2?
I might be.
Because I heard someone say the other day, I can't remember what someone said to me the other day, yeah, they've got everyone that's ever been in Wicked in part 2. And I thought, have they?
Like, got a few people
ever been in Wicked?
Well, no, I don't think they've got everyone, but I think they've got a few people that pop up.
It's my friend actually that works on the cruise ships, because then I said, well, I know that Alice Fern, who's in the Limelight Club, she was Glinda's mum in part 1.
We do pop up. I'm going to say we are in there. But you're going to have to look out for us. Like, we're not as you would expect.
But I do love that, though, now, like, especially when they're using a lot of, like, stagey people in it, that you're like, there they are. I saw Snow White the other day and my friend's in it.
Have you seen it? I'd love to go see that.
I've seen it twice. It's really good. And I, like, literally... I saw my friends, and when I saw what her outfit was, and the next time I watched it, I saw her like 4 more times, so I knew what her outfit was.
I need to go and see that. I actually went to see Rachel, who plays Snow White in Romeo and Juliet on Broadway when I was there a few months ago. And she was so brilliant in it. And I messaged her afterwards and just said, congratulations, what a brilliant show.
Yeah.
And she messaged me back and said, I can't believe you were in. I wish I'd have said hello. And you were an inspiration for me growing up because I think she saw me in Wicked on Broadway. And I just thought, you know what, that's so nice. Somebody, she's absolutely brilliant. And she didn't need to respond to me. And I thought that was really
What a
sweet.
lovely lady.
So I do want to go and see Snow White. And she's coming here to do Evita, I think.
Is she?
Very exciting. Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. Because it was supposed to be someone else,
Oh,
wasn't
no,
it?
I just
No,
dropped a clanger.
No. I think it was supposed. I can't remember who it was supposed to be, and they had to pull out. So that's really
I
exciting.
think it's her. I think it is. And she'll be brilliant. She'll be lovely.
So you've got your show at the Vaudeville on the 21st of April. So what is that going to entail?
So I did a tour at the end of last year, Kerry Ellis, Queen of the West End, and it was a book tour where I went round. I think we did 45 dates around the UK. I played people's hometowns, and I would sit and tell some stories, and I would sing some songs, play some clips, and the show just got received so well. We had such a lovely reaction. I think because we were going out to people in the theatres that they know and love and they grew up in, and got to meet people and hear their stories of their connections with theatre, or when they saw me do something, or when they had their first experience in theatre, usually in the theatre that we were in. And we just had such a great time. We thought, let's do it again. So we booked the tour that's going to happen this year in September. And then we thought, well, we should do a bit of a London date. So Westway were obviously doing this collection of performances at the Vaudeville. So we thought, well, actually, why don't I combine the two? And I'm going to do a show there that's similar to my Queen of the West End show, but there'll be a few new songs, a few new kind of moments from that have been more recent, like a song from If Then, which I did at the Savoy just recently, and just some more current things that I've been up to. So I'll include that in that show before I go out and tour again at the end of the year.
And then it's September to November, all around the UK.
Yeah.
Basically every single night.
Yes, pretty
She
much.
works hard for the money.
I do work hard. I know. People always say to me, when do you ever stop? But you know what? I feel really, I have been doing this a long time, but I feel so grateful to be, one, doing a job that I love, but still out there kind of just doing it, and that people still want to hear my stories and see me perform. So I love it. And I'm glad we're going out again.
Yeah, and also it's not work when it's something you love, is it? It is work.
Yeah, I know.
And also I feel like when I stop, that's when I can't get back going again. After Christmas, January, I'm a write-off because I can't start the motor again.
Yeah, it's hard. And with the weather, it's not easy, is it?
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been amazing having you here. That's it for Amy Hart's Mums Club this week. Big thank you to Kerry Ellis. So you can see her at the Westway Sessions, 21st of April at the Vaudeville Theatre, and then on her tour from September to November this year. We'll put her website in the show notes so you can check out all the dates there. Don't forget, we'll be starting our Q&A sessions soon, so please send your questions to amyhartsmumsclub@news.co.uk and I will answer them the best I can. And don't forget, you can find me on social media at AmyHartXO on Instagram, at Amy Hart on TikTok, and at Amy Hart's Mums Club on everything for everything to do with the podcast. Join me again next week for another amazing episode with another fabulous guest, and I will see you then.